Hi, my name's Nate, and this is a CiloGear propaganda film, and this is what's in my pack. Recently, I climbed a route called the Colton Leech. It's on Mount Huntington in the Alaska range, and it was about a 4,000 foot route comprised of primarily ice climbing, mixed climbing, and some steep, techy snow. Just the style of climbing, we knew that we were going to be both climbing and both leading with packs on. So we knew we wouldn't be climbing in a style where we'd have a leader pack and a follower pack. So we wanted to take packs that we could lead in and climb in at a high level. And for us, that was these packs. We both took 45 liter NWD packs. The reason I like this pack is, well, originally I was given this pack when I was a student. I did a slideshow, was given to it by Graham at a presentation, and now that I'm a working man and I can afford to buy my own gear, this is definitely the pack I would take on future trips. It's a very lightweight pack, and like I said, it climbs and carries very well. And there's a lot of ways to make his packs even lighter. The first thing you can see, this side has no straps whatsoever. And that's one of the things I've done. I've gotten rid of almost every strap on the pack. In fact, I just use a few straps. The first one is this one over the top, which I feel like brings the load down below your neck, which really helps when you're looking up at the route, just keeping a low profile on your neck. And then on the side, I just use two straps, which are great for keeping a picket. And the top one, I use a buckle. You can actually unsnap the buckle while you're climbing and grab the picket out and deploy it with your pack on. Very handy feature. Also, for a route like this where it was going to be all climbing, there's really no reason to have a hip belt, I feel. So I ditched the hip belt and just climbed with the shoulder pack and the shoulder straps and the sternum strap. And that also gave me better access to my harness, which was great. But you know, a pack is only as light as what you put in it. So let's take a look inside also. I went very bare bones with my pack. Didn't take a lot of things that kept me too warm. And I also like to pack with everything the way I'm going to get at it. So first thing, water bottle. Got to stay hydrated on the climbs. Number two is my puffy. One day it was so cold we actually climbed in our puffies the entire day, and it was fairly miserable, but we kept moving. And then since I don't use a top pouch, can be difficult to keep your gear organized. What I do is I take one stuff sack and I keep all of my food in here for the future day. So like my dinner, I use a Mountain House, for instance, and then I reuse this for the second dinner because the pouch is kind of heavy, so you can reuse the pouch. That's your bowl for the second dinner. After that, we have a reactor stove that we brought. My buddy Marcus brought the tent, and then I brought the stove. Always need to bring two canisters. Keep one in your sleeping bag, keep one cooking, and switch them out as they become cold and start to cool down. Also, with a steep route like this, you got to keep your stove clipped in. You don't want to drop it. Next up is trusty shovel. On our first bivvy, it took us 4 hours to dig out the bivvy platform, so the shovel was definitely a necessity. I used a extendable shovel. It's actually two section, but I take out the middle section to save a few ounces, and then again having clip-in points both on the blade and on the handle. It's an absolute necessity on these sorts of routes. The foam pad that comes with the pack, I thought had a lot of support, but a little bit more support than I wanted while I was climbing. So instead I took that out and I used my half length Thermarest pack instead, or Thermarest pad instead. And this has worked great for me en route. And another great way to keep things organized is what Graham has in the back here, is the Ninja pouch. And this is what I would fill up with the food I was going to use that day. I used a lot of these power bars, my headlamp, just the stuff I know I'm getting at. My V-threader, I know I'm going to use it that day, so I need to have it. I need it when I need it. so you got to know where it is. And last but not least, my favorite piece of gear en route, especially a cold route like this, was my hand warmers, which I kept in my socks, I kept in my gloves, and they kept me warm for the most part. Still got these. So, and the last thing in my pack is the last thing you should be doing on a climb, and that's sleeping. So here's my sleeping bag. Brought a 0-degree bag. It kept me warm, it kept me dry. I can't complain. So thanks for watching. This was a CiloGear propaganda film. My name's Nate.